Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I am back again doing your mid-April 2016 monthly tarot horoscopes. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Libra. And I am drinking in a recycled pickle jar, okay? a banana, blueberry, strawberry smoothie. It's actually really good. There's avocado in here too. Avocado, when you put it in a smoothie, it makes it look sort of like a custardy type consistency, which I really like. And I'm sort of like eating on the go, drinking, eating on the go, because I'm trying to get outside. I actually rented this plot of a garden at the St. Andrew's Community Church here in Ellensburg, where I live, and it's really, really cool actually, because I already planted a whole bunch of perennials, and I go there and I water every day, and it's just, I don't know, it's just really nice. So definitely, if you have a chance to get your hands dirty this summer, spring, summer, do it. If there's a community garden near you, do it. Absolutely. So anyways, I do have a website for those of you who are new to my channel. Welcome. I do have a website. It's called oracledaphne.com. It has all my pricing, my payment schedule, and all of my policies on there. You know, the way to book a reading is by emailing me, elizabetholson31@gmail.com. You can't book a reading through the website, but it is good if you check out my calendar to see a good time that would work for you, and then you email me and say, hey, are you available at this time? And I'll say yes, and I'll send you an invoice, and then that'll be it. So it's pretty simple. And just so you guys know, I am using my regular Shadowscapes deck by Stephanie Pre-Moon Law. This is the deck that I'm using. I keep forgetting in my other videos to talk about this deck, but and you may be in a relationship with a Cancer or Pisces. Or Leo, too. Leo is showing up here as well. You've got some really interesting stuff here happening. You've got 3 cards that are lining up that are really, like the track that you're on is like really set, I want to say. Like, the vibe that I'm getting is that you're very set in your ways. Some of you are very, very set in your ways, and you're very stubborn. You may have some very strong Capricorn or Taurus or Virgo in your chart. Like, you are really, really stubborn. That's the first thing that comes to me. Some of you are less stubborn and more fearful, okay? Know that. And some of you need to reach out to a higher power. Some of you need to become a little bit more spiritual. It doesn't have to be religious. You don't have to be religious to be spiritual, but I feel like the universe is like sort of saying you need to become more spiritual because the angels are around you. You have deceased loved ones around you, and you have a lot of support from spirit, okay? You know, this may be a very tough time too. You may be, you know, you have the King of Swords in reverse, and just so you know, this last couple of videos that I've done a lot more reverses than normal. This is just the way, you know, I've tried to fix my deck, but it just seems like these are the messages that want to come through, so I'm just kind of going with it. In a positive way, the King of Swords in reverse says the angels are around you. They can hear your cry for help, and help is on the way, and you are loved. So if you're going through a tough time, this is the time to start to pray. This is a time to reach out for help. You may be praying a lot. You may be one of those people that prays and prays and prays and prays, and you feel like nobody's listening. You may already be very spiritual yourself too. Like, you may just have a lot of spiritual energy or spiritual focus, I want to say, for some of you. But I feel like a lot of people are in this place of sort of the fight, the fight, which is like fighting back because you feel like you have to fight back. It's interesting. The foundation is needing to have faith in a higher power. And then you have this higher power on the top showing up saying, the angels are around you. Don't despair. So for some of you, it's despair. Some of you, it's like feeling like very stuck or you're stubbornly wanting something, or you're frustrated about something, and you need to have more faith that things will turn out. So in a way, you need to become more spiritual. Like that was probably one of the first things I said. So I feel like that's a very strong vibe here. And I'm kind of starting here because these three cards are just lining up. They're all very similar. You also have the Fate card in the center of everything, but it can also indicate a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo male, okay? Or Aries too. This is how they look together. It's very dynamic. So I want to say, on the one hand, Libra, you have faith in a higher power. You do believe that things are going to work out. And on the other hand, you're in a fight for survival, or you're in a fight with a partner, or you're not believing that, everything's turned to shit, and you're not believing that things will turn out. So you do need to believe more, because I feel like every other card around this spread is actually really positive. But middle of April, for some reason, to me, this is like a crisis of faith. This is like a midlife crisis. You may be at a point where you are just like, your attitude is not totally on point. It's like your attitude may be just screw it, or your attitude may be very negative for whatever reason. You may feel like, the world has turned against you, and you may feel like, you're praying and praying and praying, and nobody's hearing you, nothing's happening, nothing's positive. But you're crossed by the sun, which is joy, which is victory, which is riding off into the sunset, which is, a very strong, positive energy. So it's not all doom and gloom, although you may see it, mid-April as doom and gloom. You may also, it may just be your perspective, okay? But you may have also gotten some kind of like diagnosis. Like I want to say for some people, it's like a diagnosis, like a bad diagnosis. And you're like having a crisis of faith because you're not sure what to do. It's almost like, some of you it's cancer. Some of you it's a cancer diagnosis. Some of you it's like a terminal illness or something where you're calling into question everything. You're questioning your faith. You're questioning life. You're questioning, you have like life and death questions going on. Existential questions of who you are, why we're here, what you're about. Some of you it's depression, and some of you it's you're so fearful of everything that, you may be afraid of death. Like there may be something about the situation where you're afraid. Like it's like you may have been given like 6 months to live or something like that, and you're at this crisis point. You're going, okay, well, what do I do? And it's interesting. There are turning points in everyone's life. And there are choices and there are alternative things that you can try doing. And there are misdiagnoses, and there are people that say they get like a 6 months to live and then they actually live for another 10 years. So, to me, this is, you need to reach out to somebody in a church. Okay. I am more spiritual, less religious, but I also believe there are some times which it's talking to somebody in the church is very helpful, okay? At times where I was at a crisis point, I talked to someone in the church. And it doesn't matter what church you go to. It doesn't matter, okay? Somebody in the community that's going to help you talk you through this, because I feel like you need some help. And know that there are deceased loved ones around you, and the angels are around you, and they are helping you, and they do hear you. So it's not like you're not being heard, but it's just this may be something that you need to go through. Major arcana stuff usually is. It's just something that you need to go through. And it's hard. It's difficult. This is like, again, midlife crisis for a lot of you. Or just a point in time where you can't necessarily keep going the way you've been going. You need to make some choices. Some of you need to move. Some of you want to move or travel. I feel very strongly some of you are going to be doing some travel, okay? Whether you've been given 6 months to live or not, okay? Some of you are going to be traveling. Moving is on the horizon here. I pulled another card for what's crowning you, and traveling, definitely. You do also have the Queen of Wands, so you may have some strong Aries, Capricorn, or Taurus, again, in your chart. Female Libras. This is getting what you want. So I feel like there's a very strong masculine. Male Libras, especially male Libras who are older, I feel like you are at the crisis point. Female Libras, I don't see you in the center of this reading, which means you've made someone else the center of your universe, which to me, the sun person is Leo, the Cancer, Leo, Cancer, Sagittarius, or Aries, male. So Libra females, you need to kind of get back in the game, and you need to kind of like make some decisions. You may be moving on from this relationship, or you may be traveling with your partner, or you may just be overly focused on your partner or dating this person, this one person. This may be like a life partner or someone that you live with, and they become the focus. And you need to spend some time, you need to think more of yourself, okay? That's what I'm getting. Now, to me, every other card is positive aside from this like 3-card lineup, which seems to be very solid. Like it's a solid wall. But just because it's solid doesn't mean other things can't happen. I feel like for some people, it's sort of like you get the phone call that you have 6 months to live, and then you decide, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking move to Italy, or I'm gonna go to Greece, or I'm gonna go to Turkey, or I'm gonna go travel the world and do a whole bunch of things, okay? There's an element here of time. I feel like some of you are rushing to do things, and some of you don't feel like you have that much time. Maybe physically you don't, health-wise you don't, but also maybe you just feel like you're kind of busy, going. A lot. And there's a lot of career focus here. You've got the 2 of Wands in the recent past, which is career focus. It is doing very well in career, so that's positive. You do have the Knight of Cups in the card in the position of the immediate future, which I feel like is more male Libras. There's a lot of masculine energy here. Male Libras, this is you. I usually see it as you. Riding on the horse, younger male Libras, I feel like you're dealing with some issues about where to go, what to do. You're at like a crisis point, but it's more of a crossroads. It's not necessarily like a crisis. It's more just like you're trying to figure out where to go, what to do with your life. And your life is faded. There's faded elements because to me the Emperor is fate. And so that means to me that, fate is a rocky road, okay, first of all. It means that if you decide to go right and the universe says, well, no, fate says you're supposed to be over here at 5 o'clock on a Saturday to meet your girl or to get the job or to learn some crazy lesson. Whatever you've done over here is going to go to shit. You're going to lose the job. You're going to, break up with whoever. You're going to, something's going to happen. You change your mind and you're going to go over here. It's hard because everything turns to shit when fate is happening. So it may have been where your life has turned to some shit, and you're just really struggling to survive. You're really just fighting back. You're lashing out at people. You're acting out of character. You're, really freaking out about things that are not going your way. And I feel like this is more male Libras. Female Libras, I feel like you are getting more your way. Why? Because you have the Queen of Wands in the upright, and she always gets what she wants. Okay? Always. So, again, there may be a Libra Aries thing here too. You may be married to this Aries person, because I feel like this is the Queen of Wands typically is Aries in my mind, but it could also be a Sagittarius or Leo. If you're a Libra male, you may be fighting like really hard, like, and saying things that you don't mean with that person. Because that's also part of the Aries Libra dynamic, is a lot of arguing, a lot of like words that eventually the words get said that are very, very painful and hurtful. Ultimately, I feel like she's going to get what she wants, though. She always gets what she wants. So you may be dealing with a very stubborn individual. The stubbornness can be on both sides. It can be, you could be very stubborn, and you could be married or in a partnership. You could be with someone who's like a boyfriend or girlfriend who's very, very stubborn. Okay. I want to say Libra females, I don't see a lot of you here in this spread. I don't. I see the outcome as the Fool, which I feel like is you. Okay, Libra females needing to take a leap of faith. Faith is like the #1 word here for the end of April. Okay. Or for April for you. I feel like you need to figure out, you need to believe that things are going to be okay. You need to believe that some things that are fated to be, some things aren't fated, sorry. Some things are just not meant to be because of fate, okay? And some things are fated to be, and some things are fated not to be. That's what I was trying to say. So the more you try to control it, the worse it's going to be. I feel like there's this element of this lineup of things, kind of like there are some ducks in a row here, and you're on a very stubborn track, and you want to get what you want, especially if you got, you know, the Libras, you know, how you have any, you know, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, whatever, making you very fierce. Okay, you have to be careful of your words. Your words can be very sharp. This can be conflict, okay? Too, because the Nine of Swords in the upright position is fear. In the reverse position, this is someone, this is someone who lashes out, someone who says things, and it can also be someone who's able to face their fears because they have faith, okay, in the positive sense. In the negative sense, it's someone who's like so afraid of getting hurt that they push everybody away, okay, who's got a lot of inner demons, a lot of inner insecurities, okay. So to me, this is someone who's very insecure. Okay, Libra guys, if you're watching, you've been hurt before in the past, and you're not really ready to be in a new relationship. You know, I want to say anytime soon. You may be playing the field. If you are married, you are in a relationship with a very strong female. It may or may not be going well. I don't necessarily feel like it's one or the other. It could be just sort of so-so for some people. For some people, it's like arguments, serious arguments with a partner, saying things you don't mean, lashing out, cutting, okay? But best case scenario, this is where people are facing their fears, saying, you know what, I believe that things are going to be okay. I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm going to move. I'm going to go here. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, you know, get a new job. There's a job element here too, okay? Which I do feel like it's going to be really good. I do feel like you are, for a lot of you, going to be in a supportive job environment with a supportive coworker or someone who you work with that just really is very supportive. Or you are in the position, say female Libras, you're in a relationship where your partner really supports you, okay? I see a lot of times the Libra male, though, because there's a lot of Libra males have more of a traditional perspective about male-female roles, and so Libra males typically will take on the role of the provider, providing for the family. Not to say that Libra females can't be the provider too, because I have seen that too, okay? But I feel like the man in here, this card is showing me the man holding up the woman, and to me that's being supportive of somebody. So you may be in a partnership with someone and you're being very supportive of them. You know, you are supporting them, you're paying the bills, you wearing the pants kind of thing. But to me, the Three of Pentacles is also a 50-50 partnership. It goes both ways. It's someone who supports you, you support them, you both work together on something, and this may be what you want, or this may be what the universe is sending you, okay? You may be in a relationship with an Aquarius towards the end of April. There is some Aquarius Libra connection here, okay? I feel like, you know, there's a lot of flip-flopping, okay? So there are some points mid-April in which you're going to feel very, 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 very stuck. And there are some points mid-April which you're going to feel high as a kite. Really, really positive, really, really good. To me, there's very high highs and very low lows. You're going to soar like the eagle, but then you're going to crash at some point, okay? So you need to be careful about going very slowly and carefully, not racing to go anywhere, not rushing into anything too fast, okay? Some of you are getting engaged. Some of you are getting engaged. Some of you are getting married. Some of you are planning, you know, planning a wedding. There's a lot of travel. There's both two travel elements here. You know, this is travel, which is the outcome, and then this is crowning you, which can be also travel or moving. You know, she's pointing in this direction saying, let's go do this. So you may be taking some trips. You may be going abroad. You may be doing some kind of sports. I feel like some of you with sports activities, you know, either flying or sailing or like any of the wind sports. I don't know, like a lot of different, you know, you could be doing kind of any kind of sports, but there's a lot of sport stuff here, a lot of activity, okay? So you may just be very busy. You may have a lot going on. I want to say sports. I don't know why, but that's what I'm getting. Again, there is a lot of indecisiveness too about what you're doing. It's sort of like, and that's normal, but it can block you, okay? It's sort of like you have a lot of options and you're trying to figure out what the best option is. And sometimes you just have to learn by experience and pick the first one and go and do it and see how it turns out. And then you'll know, you know? It's like trying a new restaurant. You don't call up everybody you know and say, is it good, 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 is it good? You eventually just go, you try it, and you're like, okay, well, I liked it or I didn't like it, and then you know better next time. And if it doesn't turn out good, you order from the same old place that you've ordered for the last 50 years that you know is really good. That's kind of how it is. There really isn't much else that I am getting. This is like kind of a short reading for you guys, but I feel like there's a lot of travel elements. There are some decisions that you need to make about where you're going and what you're doing. I feel like some people, it is kind of a crisis point mid-April. I do feel like you're going to, a lot of you are going to move out of that crisis point, but I feel like some of you are going to be you're on track to dealing with that for some time. It's going to depend on each person. The highlights, I would say, are the travel, is the moving, is the, you know, deciding to go someplace and have some fun. I feel like there's a lot of fun elements too. I want to say some of you, it's a turning point. It's a turning point in your life. It's a turning point in your career. It's not really a breakthrough time, but it's also not really a time where I feel like you've learned a lot from the past, and the past has taught you to have faith and to believe in a higher power and the power of prayer, okay? And because of that, I feel like you're going to make different decisions and do different things, and the energy is really fresh and new, okay? I don't feel like there's a lot of old energy going into the end of April, early May. I feel like it's really, really fresh. There's a lot of things you're doing. You are keeping busy, and that is good. Is there any really like strong romance highlights? I don't really necessarily feel that way. There are some really strong career highlights, which I feel like have happened sort of in the past. Going into the future, it's just sort of like, I feel like you're just sort of multitasking different elements of different things. Not one thing is really standing out to me. So, it's kind of another another so-so month for Libra. I hate to say that. It's not like bad. It's actually kind of good because that means, I mean, there are some high highs and there are some low lows, but I don't necessarily feel like it's bad in any way. I feel like you're just kind of, you know, going through life at your own speed, at your own pace. And like I said, make sure you're slowing down, taking time to smell the roses, enjoying what you have, you know, not taking things for granted. Working on your relationships is always something Libra's always sort of doing. I feel like you are going to get to a point, if you were in a relationship, where you make a decision about it, whether to go forward or not. But especially if it's gotten to a point where you're saying things you don't mean and you're kind of lashing out with that person, they kind of rub you the wrong way. It could also be you're dealing with more family elements too. People there, I do see a lot of people around you. So it's going to depend on each Libra. But I do feel like the focus needs to be more on you. I feel like the focus is on too much on others. Like the only thing that I could say that's really out of balance for April is that you are focusing on too much on what others want, not enough on what you want, not taking care of yourself enough. And know that if you're at a point where you're like, I don't know if I can continue, I don't know if I should, I don't know about these things, or at this point of faith, their angels are listening. And sometimes we can't, because we can't see them, and sometimes we can't feel them or hear them. It can be frustrating, but I feel like you can always change your life and your path by making good decisions. And I feel like that's a trend this time around with this series of videos. So kind of think about your decisions and how they are affecting your life. And if you're dealing with fate, because you are, it almost is sort of very hard to make a decision where things work out, because your fate is supposed to be doing a certain thing and there's no way to figure that out beforehand. You just have to live your life and go with the flow, and things will eventually fall into place and you'll be on the right track. I don't feel like you're on the wrong track per se, but I feel like having more faith and believing that things will be all right is like a very strong message this time around. So I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you guys so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, and Google Plusing and all that. And I'll be back again for May. And I send you big hugs, big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. Okay, take care. All the best.